Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the Sun conjunct the midheaven in Synastry. Now, first off, the basic character, which is the Sun, and then the person's career midheaven may be very strongly integrated. The Sun person may put a lot of intense focus on the person's career. Let's say the midheaven is an Aquarius. The career may be connected with astrology, astronomy, computers, aviation, meteorology, innovation as some examples, and also there may be a very intensified focus on that person's public image and reputation. It could be keeping it that way. In some cases, it could be, to the detriment of the midheaven individual, because remember that conjunctions and astrology are neutral. They can have good and bad qualities in them. Again, going back to the midheaven and Aquarius as an example, that public image and reputation may be connected with being an innovator, somebody that's humanitarian, altruistic, selfless, considerate, and not obtrusive. But on the negative side, it might be someone that has a reputation for being extremely non-conforming, rebellious, and overly unpredictable and erratic as some examples. And the Sun person, again, may have a lot of those qualities. The midheaven person has difficulty suppressing. In most cases, the Sun will be in the same sign as the midheaven. So in most cases, that could be true. Because the midheaven, again, is connected with the qualities that we have difficulty suppressing. And the Sun, is the basic fundamental character of the person. The midheaven, is in Leo. There could be very, domineering, extroverted, charismatic qualities, dignified qualities in this person. And it could match in most cases the Sun person, basic fundamental character. Now, the next thing, as far as the Synastry aspect goes, is that if the midheaven person may use, if he or she has it, their position of authority to help the Sun person for them to gain what they want in life, and the Sun person may give the midheaven more of a path, a solid path to attain career ambitions if it gives them some direction. Sun is about life, and it's our focus, our attention. It could be a life direction. The Sun person may very well be able to bring that direction and compass and be that guide for that midheaven person. If the midheaven person is unsure on how to go about attaining career endeavors and aspirations, the Sun person may be there and beneficial for that. The thing about it is, looking at this as well, the thing with the Sun conjunct midheaven and Synastry, remember that the Sun is connected with the ego. If the midheaven person, is doing better in terms of their stature in life, their social status compared to the Sun individual, it may have, an adverse effect, on the person's ego. But remember that the conjunction aspects in astrology, they are neutral. So some cases, the midheaven person may actually be advantageous to the Sun person's ego. The midheaven person, may be doing something in terms of their career and their success, which can inspire the Sun person to attain greater heights and thus help them in terms of matters pertaining to their ego, and make having them perhaps have a better, more successful life in existence as they did previously, and that could benefit the some person's ego actually. Now, another thing is that the midheaven person may inspire the Sun person to as far as career endeavors, creative endeavors may go. The midheaven is about accomplishments. The sun person, you know, sun focuses on creativity, creative endeavors. This could be, these two people may work and collaborate well together on creative projects and endeavors because then the midheaven person, the midheaven is connected with accomplishments and achievements and hard work. The sun person, the sun is connected with creative expression and energy. And the thing about this is, in the person, the sun individual may be intensely driven and motivated to help the midheaven person attain success in general and to even gain notoriety and recognition for what they do. Now, the thing about this is too, it's important, as I've stated, like in my earlier videos on natal placements, I talked about, never isolating any single one astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on that alone, because the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. And the same applies to synastry aspects, because one synastry aspect, good or bad, certainly is not going to make or break a relationship. And this synastry aspect, the sun conjunct midheaven, is certainly no exception to that. Now, keep in mind, you have a plethora. I mean, most synastry, charts are going to have a plethora of aspects between person A and person B. And the sun, conjunct midheaven, obviously could have, there could be, the sun person could be very intensely focused and connected with the midheaven persons, their work and their career. But the thing is, there's also, there could be, some modifying influences in the charts, but as far as synastry aspects may go. Now, if you have, say you have, two people may have this aspect, the sun conjunct midheaven in synastry, but at the same time, they have, they have something like, their Saturns. One person's Saturn is square or opposite the other person's Saturn, or you have, the sun, person. There's one, or I should say, you have the sun. Another aspect can be, you could have other, adverse aspects, like the like I said before, you could have Saturn, adverse Saturn, and that would show, that one person, may have certain work and responsibilities that are going to conflict with the other person's career. Or, if you had, Venus, adverse Saturn, you could have, person's enjoyment may conflict with another person's, their work life and their career. Or, even let's say that the sun is square or opposite another person's Saturn, that let's say that you have, again, let me go back behind and rewind, that you have the sun conjunct midheaven in synastry, but that sun person has their, in that aspect, they have their sun square or opposite that person's Saturn. Then it might be a little harder for that sun person to focus on that person's career and their work life and their responsibilities. They might not be in complete agreement with it, because Saturn is connected with the career as well. So, you have to look at all the aspects in astrology. Don't, make, analysis based on one synastry aspect alone. This could, and conjunctions, again, are neutral aspects. They have good and bad qualities. And, just because you have, this, somebody has a tight conjunction, the sun in midheaven, or sun conjunct sun, or ascendant conjunct ascendant as some examples, that doesn't mean everything's going to be honky-dory and going to be all auspicious, because sometimes, the familiarity breeds contempt theory can come into play. Anyway, people, That'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.